Hello and welcome back, Year 10. I hope you've had a good break. We've got another video here for our new topic. So this topic, we're going to be looking at linear relationships. Okay, what that means is we're trying to link equations with graphs. Okay, so this topic's all about how do we get from equations into a picture of an equation that is in a graph. Okay, the first few lessons we're going to be going over just solving equations again as a bit of revision to build up those skills because they're very important skills. And then next week and the following weeks, we're going to start linking those ideas to how do we draw graphs of equations, how do we get an equation from a graph, etc. So today we're just going to be looking at relatively simple linear equations. And a linear equation is just an equation that when you graph it, creates a line. And like I said, we're going to be looking at that more next week. So the main thing when we are doing equations is we want to get the unknown on its own. That is always what we're trying to do. Trying to get the unknown, that is the pronumeral or the letter, on its own. That is what we're trying to do. Okay, and the order that we do that is in reverse BIDMAS. Okay, the way in which we rearrange our equation to get the unknown on its own is in reverse order of operations, where usually you would do brackets first, indices, division, multiplication, and then addition and subtraction. When we're doing equations, the order that we move things across is in reverse BIDMAS order. Okay, let me show you what I mean. So this first example here, we're going to solve this linear equation. That is, we want to get x on its own. How are we going to do that? Well, you notice we've got this -9 here and we've got this 7. We've got to get rid of both of them. But the order that we do it in is reverse BIDMAS. So the first thing we get rid of is this subtraction, -9. Now, whenever you move something across an equal sign, we turn it into its opposite operation. Okay, if you're taking away 9 from this side, it's the same as adding 9 to the other side. So when we move that -9 across, we're going to make it a plus. Okay, so let's write that out. For question A, we go 7x equals, and it's going to become -5 plus 9. Now all I've done is I've moved that -9 across to make it plus on the other side. So then when I simplify that, I get 7x equals -4. Oh, sorry, plus 4. Okay, and then to finish this off, we can divide both sides by 7. Now the reason why we divide is because there's a hidden times here. 7 times x, the opposite of timesing by 7 is dividing by 7. So we can then rearrange it to do the opposite of times, which is divide by 7. And if we have x on its own, no other numbers next to it, no other things around it, we have solved our equation. So our answer is just 4 and 7, or 4/7. Okay, so remember, opposite operation, reverse BIDMAS. Let's do a few more of these. Okay, we've got the -4x on this side. We're going to leave it there. We're going to first get rid of this 8. Now that is a +8, even though there's no plus sign. Okay, there's a hidden plus sign in front of it. So the opposite of +8 is -8. We're going to move it over to the other side because 17 minus 8 equals -4x. So the -4x stays the same. We're just moving the 8 across first. 17 minus 8 is going to be 9, and that stays the same. And then we've got to move over this -4. Okay, we're timesing by -4, so the opposite of what we're going to do is divide by -4, and we end up with 9 divided by -4 equals x. And we've got x on its own. Now that's the same as -9 on 4. Doesn't matter where the minus sign is, whether it's on the top or bottom. And we've got our answer. Remember, we always want to have two sides of an equation, equal sign in the middle. And as we work down the page, the equals are on top of each other. That's a really nice, neat way, a systematic way of solving this, so that it's really clear what we're doing. Equal signs down the middle. We don't need equal signs on the left, just in the middle between the left and the right side of the equation. All right, let's do a few more of these. So this one, we've got m on 3 minus 5 equals -2. So we've got to think, are we going to get rid of the divide by 3 or the minus 5 first? Reverse BIDMAS says we get rid of the minus 5 first. So we leave the m on 3. We move the minus 5 across to become plus 5. So it's minus 2 plus 5, which means that m on 3 equals positive 3. We can just write 3 there. And then the next thing we've got to do is move the divide by 3 across. The opposite of dividing is multiplying, so we end up with m equals 3 times 3, m equals 9. And then we have a final answer because m is on its own. Last example. Here we're going to do a substitution to find out what that equation equals. So we're not solving the equation, we're just substituting, which means we're replacing a pronumeral with its value. Whenever we do this, we want to put brackets around the value just to make sure that we don't make any silly mistakes. So here, we're just going to write the equation, but instead of y, instead of y, I'm just going to write minus 18. Now in this case, the brackets don't make a difference, but in other cases, they might. Now we can just get rid of those brackets straight away now because there's no other thing attached to that minus 18. So we've got to think, we want to get x on its own to find out what x is. First thing we're going to move across is the minus 3. Reverse BIDMAS order again. So it becomes minus 18 plus 3, because it becomes opposite operation when it moves. And then 5x. So minus 18 plus 3 is minus 15, which equals 5x. And then the opposite of timesing by 5 is dividing by 5. So we end up with minus 15 divided by 5 equals x. And we can just simplify that answer to finish it off. We get minus 3 equals x. We've got x on its own. We've found its value. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, contact me in Microsoft Teams. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.